if we're live, bear with us. We're outdoors today. Couldn't be doing this indoors. Jay. Sorry, it's alright. Man's on
so
it.
we're live today outside. The weather is roasting. So we just couldn't do this indoors because we couldn't cope with it. So we thought we'd get the canopy out. We're chilling in our urban home built garden. Obviously you can hear some commotion in the back. That's the local riffraff, as usual. And today's podcast is podcast 115, Staying Alive.
What's going on, homies? You're listening to NPK Live, the Hydroponics podcast. You're listening to NPK Live. To all the listeners around the world, you're listening to NPK Live.
Right, Chelsea, the Chelsea Flower Show. Wow, what an event that was. Humbling, to say the least, because Chelsea, if you don't know, is probably the most premier flower, vegetable and fruit show and architecture show, garden show, potentially in the world.
Yeah. And
we were privileged to be there. We were in the pavilion with Thomas Michael Smith. If you go back about 10-15 podcasts, you'll remember Thomas from Michael from the fruit and vegetable podcast that we did. We'll be getting him back on to talk about his road to Chelsea and how he got there. And he was awarded the Silver Gilt Medal, which is one away from the gold. You've got gold, silver gilt, silver and bronze. So to achieve silver gilt amongst the best 95 growers in the world in doing what they do is phenomenal. Just the local riffraff just causing noise.
yeah, we can't get them to shut up. They can't have a normal conversation quiet. You've got to actually.
No, this is Barry.
No, Graham. We've got Graham as well. Yeah. Big shout out to Chris Fay, one of our pals who's lost in Thailand. Yeah, he's probably banged up abroad in Thailand anyway.
But Chelsea, yeah, he won the silver gilt. He did very well. If you want to see the pictures, check out our Instagram at NPK_hydroponics and see what we did, see what we got up to over there. And I'd recommend as well, anyone that's in the UK at this time next year, go to the show because it's like I said, the premier show. Put the camera on them if you want. If you really want to get involved, let's get the camera on them.
Look at this. Hey. Get the gym. Who do you work for? Oh, look at this free publicity here. Who are you?
I work in the fucking
And you're on community service. Stop lying.
This is the Victorian Gardens where you get all.
If you've seen him in the local area around late at night, you know, watch out for him. He's a dodgy character.
Keep asking me about what's happening with this Nano.
Nano? What is happening with Nano? Who's been asking you this? Oh, yeah.
But he wants evidence, so it says sound.
Okay.
He wants evidence. Oh,
evidence.
We provide evidence. He wants evidence.
So what else is going on?
No comment.
What?
Yeah, just for all the viewers and the podcast listeners, that was our friend Graham. Didn't realise he was live. Big shout out to Glendale.
That's funny.
So, anyway, so back to the Chelsea Flower Show, back to Nano, back to Michael Thomas Smith.
If you're in the London area, if you're in Chelsea this time next year, make sure you get your tickets for Chelsea early because it's a phenomenal show, absolutely phenomenal. In the indoor pavilion, 95 of the world's best growers doing what they do: bonsais, orchids, roses. Hillier were there with a £250,000 stand, which was phenomenal. So it's a really good event, and it's humbling as well. It makes you realise how much you've got to learn to get to like the pinnacle of yours.
It's like the Versace of all grow shows in the world, isn't it? It's like the royal family. The royal family.
Royal family was there on Monday.
Okay.
The Queen, Air Fella.
The Queen's fella was there as well. And we had a few cups of tea with the Queen and that, didn't we?
Yeah, she loved it.
She loves us. The Queen's a big fan of NPK anyway. So it was good. It was good to see her again. She was looking pretty well.
Liz.
Yeah.
Good woman.
So keep up the hard work, our queen. Anyway, she's doing very well.
Chelsea, we're going to win gold next year. I'm putting it out there. We are winning gold next year. And then outdoors presents a whole load of different challenges, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like
it
wind,
does. Wind.
and people talking dead loudly.
But hey, anyway, so what have we got for our
So,
listeners today?
the thing that I really want to get across today is twofold. Something about the HSE, which is the Health and Safety Executives, and something that they've produced in the last couple of weeks. And also the weather. You're going to talk about the weather.
Yeah, oof. Which every one of us know what's going on lately with this weather. It's
In the UK, it is roasting. Well, compared to standard UK weather, it's roasting. Maybe in Cali, you boys are just dealing with 27 degrees all year round, but for us, this is something special. So the HSE, Health and Safety Executive Board, they released a letter on the 5th of May, I think it was. Wind keeps catching that camera. They released a letter on the 5th of May, and it was titled Placing on the Market Unauthorised Plant Protection Products. And it named some unauthorised products. These are Dr. Schimmel Spider-Mite Terminator, Leaf Armour, Dr. Zymes, Shield Spider-Mite Repellent, Agrobacterius Spider Killer, and Plant Vitality Plus is a blue liquid. The previously authorised Plant Vitality Plus expired in 2013. And then there's some things that can only be sold to professionals, which is Killermite and Smite. Now, the main thing for this that I wanted to get across is,
do we have registration?
confusion.
Can we purchase them products?
You've got to go on a course. You can purchase them, but you've got to go on a course to be able to sell them, and then you can only sell them to people that have also been on the course to use them.
Okay.
So, the main thing about today is a bit of confusion that people may be going through. Now, on there is Shield Spider-Mite Repellent. Is it? Yeah. Let's have a quick look.
So we're running with some issues today because we've decided to do this outside for our listeners. We're having once again a technical difficulty, which is no surprise with us because we always like to do things unannounced, out of the blue, and that's what we've done today. And unfortunately, Steve and his new phone is not working. Well, Steve's trying to work, but his phone's not. We should have stuck with iPhone, I think.
No, your iPhone battery wouldn't have lasted long enough. Would have been dead three times by now.
Funny enough, both of them are dead.
So the main thing that we wanted to get across today is the Shield Spider-Mite Repellent, and the fact that it's got a bit of confusion with the name, because there's Shield Spider-Mite Repellent is the one that's banned, but there's another product and that isn't banned. It's got a very similar name called Shield Your Yield. Now, Shield Your Yield and Shield Spider-Mite Repellent were the same company. It was two people. They split apart a good few years ago, and one of the partners went and created Shield Your Yield, went and got the appropriate registrations. He's now very, very close to getting Soil Association approval, which is very hard to get. You wouldn't get that if there was any nasties in there. So it could have done some damage to him because the Shield Spider-Mite Repellent didn't get registered. And that could be for two reasons. All these things that are unauthorised products could be for two reasons. Reason number one is that somebody didn't get a nice brown envelope of however many thousands of pounds to get their product registered. Costs a lot of money. The other reason is that these products could contain ingredients that are hazardous to peoples and animals.
Well,
and
shouldn't that just be the only problem?
health.
It shouldn't be the fact that you have to pay money. It should be the fact that it's either a bad product to the environment or whatever.
Some of these, though, because I don't want to go on record as saying these are all bad products, there's a potential that some of these products might be all right, but because some of them have said Spider-Mite Terminator, they've used a frame of reference that makes people believe that it's a pesticide, and if you're a pesticide, you've got to be regulated. Now, if Dr. Schimmel contains abamectin, which is a controlled substance, but let's say, for example, it contained clove oil or cinnamon oil, and it said it was a Terminator, if they don't pay the HSE thousands of pounds to get it registered so that they can check the product and make sure it's all safe, then it's classed as an unauthorised product. So some of these products could be okay, but they just haven't paid the dough.
Ah, right, okay.
Some of the products might not have paid the dough because they know that there's bad shit in there, and they don't want to pay the money and then get banned.
But to be honest with you, you know, the products that I suppose, you know, they need to pay this money. So why don't they just pay it if the product's good?
Exactly. So with repellents as well, there's very limited options on there to get really good quality insecticide. So if they pay the money and it's a good quality product, it's going to work all day. There's another thing on there called Agrobacteria Spider Killer. On people's websites it says it's completely natural and it leaves fruit safe to consume. So I had a little very quick glance at it, and it's obviously it's an unauthorised product, and it's got ingredients in it that I personally wouldn't want to be putting on my plants. So the point of all this is twofold. Shield Spider Mite Repellent and Shield Your Yield are two separate companies. It's a Shield Your Yield, and I wrote the website actually, www.shieldyouryield.co.uk. It's the company is by a good friend of mine, and I know that he's going through all the rigmarole and the processes with the Soil Association to get it right. So they're also coming out with new products as well. Like, you know, sometimes people put Ceramis on the cocoa, and when spider mites crawl, it rips into bits. Lee's managed to figure out a way of putting that into a soluble form to spray in your plants.
Okay.
And he's going to be releasing that soon. And obviously we're talking to him quite often. I know that some of the products coming out are going to be top notch. So keep an eye on the website and don't get those two companies confused. One is banned, but Shield Your Yield is not banned. He's getting Soil Association approval, and his products are actually top quality. So look into them if you're looking for an organic, safe way to get into them. This is outdoors and this is live, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it.
Right, so that is a little bit about the HSE and Shield Your Yield. If you do have any questions or you're a little bit confused about it, get in touch. I'll do more research and we'll find out what's going on in there. But the main thing about that HSE is to be careful about the products that you're buying, and because you're spraying your plants, you're spraying plants that you're going to consume your food with, or herbs or whatever it is. So be careful, because not all products that say that they're natural are actually natural. And that's what I've got to say about the HSE letter. But they're doing a good job. They're making sure that what you're putting on your plants is safe, and you're not going to come to any harm by putting them on your plants.
Okay.
Weather. Oh, actually, before we get, I'll let you loose with the weather. Seeing as we've talked a little bit about pesticides, it's getting hot. I thought we'd give you a quick blast on three things: spider mites, fungus gnats, thrips. Super quick, a little bit like 101. So prevention with spider mites, let that trip go past. Spider mites, to prevent them, increase your humidity, lower your temperature, keep your room super clean, and if you've got a mother plant, spray the mother plant with an insecticide, a natural one, 3 days before taking cuttings. Then when you take the cuttings, dip the cuttings in the insecticide, and you should be home and dry, or home and humid if you keep your conditions right for them. To cure them, one of the things that's coming out big in the UK is predatory mites. These have become a lot more available to people. Paperwork everywhere.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's your note.
Yeah. Thank you, Barry. Oh, I meant to say, Barry, did you listen to last week's podcast?
No, I haven't listened to it yet.
It was very good. You know, he's a natural.
I was a little bit shy at first.
He was a little bit shy at first, and then we couldn't fucking shut
Was
him
it
up.
Barry the Builder?
Barry the Builder.
Okay.
It was a good one, actually.
I
So
haven't listened to it yet.
if you haven't listened to last week's podcast, go and listen
Do you
to
know I
114.
struggled to find podcast 113?
Did you?
Yeah.
T-Test Stay?
Yeah.
On the actual podcast or the video?
On Podbean?
On Podbean?
Yeah.
Oh, it is on there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think 113, if you're looking for 113 on Facebook Live, it got took down because there was a bit of music at the beginning.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. It was the actual audio I was looking for myself.
Okay, well it's up there now.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
So I've got podcast 113 myself.
And 114 to catch up on.
Yeah.
Cures, predatory mites becoming really, they're increasingly available in the UK, so they're quite easy to get hold of. Get into your shop, get them to order the predatory mites. It's natural, leaves no residue on the, you can hear my phone there. It leaves no residue, and once the food is gone, which is the spider mites, they just leg it, they just get off, so it's great. And another one is pyrethrum, which is probably the best natural miticide. Pyrethrum is actually extracted from plants, and spider mites hate it. So have a little look at those for curing spider mites. Good old UPS driving past, late night deliveries. Fungus gnats, they love overly damp fertilised media. So to prevent it, don't overly water your plants and don't use too much fertiliser. Plus cleanliness cleanliness for any pest and disease. If you're clean, it's going to make it a lot harder for pest and disease to take control. And stop overwatering. If you need to cure fungus gnats, there's a product called Bacillus thuringiensis, which is like a tongue twister. But Bacillus thuringiensis will eradicate fungus gnats and do a good job. So if you're in DWC or AutoPots where fungus gnats can be attracted because there's a lot of water around, consider that product. And then finally, thrip, yellow traps. Get your yellow traps out, see if the thrip is a big problem because they're attracted to the yellow sticky traps. Give your plants a light misting because that'll knock them off the leaf and that impairs them breeding as well. And they love to feed in the mornings, just as the lights come on. So as long as you're not spraying them, if you can do your attack in the morning, just have an hour after the lights come off, they hate it. So that's the best way to get rid of thrips. But I've been doing a lot of research into pest and disease, and we have done a pest and disease one a good few months ago, but I think we're going to go into more detail on organic and natural products to get rid of pest and disease as I've done more research. So it's one to look out for in the future. That's me. I've done HSE and the 3 most potent pests that you can get and how to get rid of them.
And this is me, and I've just drunk all that water very quick. And the reason, and
My
you know
turn
what?
now, it's my turn.
You know why? Because it's very hot, isn't it, today? And I mean, really, really hot.
What haven't you done?
I don't want to tell anybody, but that's my.
I've got a banana. I'm holding a banana.
That's personal, that Stephen. Hey, what I get up to in my private time has got nothing to do with you and the viewers.
I'll put the banana down then. This is food. But what did you choose to do? Drink the water or eat the food?
Drink the water.
Why did you choose to drink the water?
Because I was becoming dehydrated.
Why didn't you eat the food?
Because it wouldn't have gave me the hydration.
Satisfaction?
Yeah, the hydration. It wouldn't have hydrated me adequately.
Well,
I didn't require any food at that time.
Yeah.
What I required was some water.
Yeah. In the winter, when it's cold, what do you tend to do more of? Nice hot bowl of mama's soup.
I like good paniscos.
Good paniscos.
Good paniscos.
Good food.
Yeah, nice hot food.
Piwak.
Piwak soup.
Piwak soup.
Yeah.
Look, he loves getting involved now.
Barry,
Hey.
That's Barry in the background.
Look, Thomas is going to have to fight now to get on this
So
podcast.
what I'm trying to say is basically, all of a sudden, we're sitting outside, and we're sitting outside for a reason because it's absolutely roasting. I think it's 27 degrees.
Does your watch tell you the temperature? Does it?
I just looked on my watch and it said the temperature. So
That's the date. It's the 26th.
Oh, 26
You always
degrees.
thought that was the temperature.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, why is the first of the month always so cold?
So
Barry's trying to say something.
I'm trying to say
No,
something, but he's all keep fucking interrupting me.
Go on.
So we're sitting outside for a reason because it's hot. Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't take your plants outside, can you? So you're going to have a bit of an issue this week, and it's the main emphasis of what I'm talking about is because
Outdoor
I am
problems.
trying to be the crowd.
I know it's hard work. It's hard work talking to these children around us.
I guarantee you they'll slam the door. Watch.
Yeah.
This is great. I'm going to slam the door now while we're on podcast. Moose.
If you've ever seen Only Fools and Horses, that's Rodders over there. He's actually really is the real Rodders. The one on Only Fools and Horses is an actor. Yeah, this is the legitimate one. Anyway, so yeah, it's really hot, and I've got some serious issues because people not addressing the heat issue in the UK this week. All week it's been hot and it's going to continue to be as well. I'm going to give you one main top tip as a grower. Switch some of your lights off. Make sure your plants remain in a perfect equilibrium, as we say in the past. Do not let your temperatures soar and think, it's only a few days, we'll get through it. Don't. Do not do that. Make sure you, if you haven't got the equipment to maybe boost up some extraction, and you've got 6 lights on, switch 3 of the lights off. Alternate each day which light's going to be on, so the plants get an equal spread of light. But make sure you do not allow these rooms to soar into high temperatures.
Quickest way to kill them.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of problems, but a lot of people with a lot of issues. If you're away from your grow room or your greenhouse or your allotment, and you're thinking you're going to stay away for a few days, you are going to come back to some serious issues. So that's the main emphasis on what I've got to say, because we're really struggling with the heat. We can't sit in the office. The office is like a sauna. It must be like 40 degrees in the sun, in the office. We've all been catching a tan for the past few days. We know Reg has absolutely annihilated his legs because of the sunburn. So some of the temperatures that's been going on over the past few days is, to be honest with you, really, really high, and make sure that you address the issues. Also CO2, a big fan of Stevens. We've got the CO2 bags, and we've got the CO2 enhancers. Bags with 600 ppm parts per million, and the enhancers with 1200. These will get your plants through the stuffiness and the problem of breathing, because all of these things start happening, and then as the pest that Steve mentioned before, if you haven't got them and you don't address these issues, don't worry, you will be getting them.
Yeah. Another thing is, when it's 28 degrees outside like it is right now, if you're bringing air in from outside, you're bringing 28 degrees air in, and that's without any lights on. So I did a little live video yesterday when I was in the other shop, and I gave a few top tips, and one of them was stop bringing your air in from outside where it's 28 degrees, and even at 9 o'clock tonight it's going to be 22 degrees. It's not good enough. Bring it from a cool room in the house. Maybe get an air conditioning unit in a room with a humidifier and bring that air in, because that's going to be ideal, rather than bringing this hot, humid, just insect-ridden air from outside in. So that was my top tip. Also, one that I forgot to mention yesterday was silicone. I can't believe I forgot to mention it. My favourite, my absolute
Steve
favourite.
loves silicone.
Get silicone into your plants, because it's going to just help more than you can imagine.
Why would they do that though? Because of its defence mechanism against all bad things.
All bad things. It is
the
like
shield.
Your armour. Yeah.
So, you know, if I was a gladiator in Roman times, would you say it is the equivalent to me walking in what's that big
heavy chainmail?
What's that big arena called in Rome? The
Colosseum.
The Colosseum.
Yeah.
So here I am, here's T. I'm about to go into my big gladiator bout.
Yeah.
And I go in with a shield.
Yeah.
And it's going to help me do what? Defend against all of these.
All attackers. All
pests.
pests.
All disease. All diseases.
Over-watering. Under-watering. Over-fertilising. Under-fertilising.
So what if I think, this shield, I can't be bothered with it though, and I just walk into the Colosseum and just say, come on.
You're going to get hacked down pretty quick.
Reckon?
Yeah, definitely.
Reckon?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's worthwhile?
Definitely. It is the number one product that a plant doesn't essentially need. You need, if that made any sense. You don't need it to get from start to finish, but you need it if you want to get to the finish successfully. So, yeah, using silicone, because it's just going to... You just get out there and buy some silicone, for God's sake. Whether it's the cheap silicone, the middle-range silicone, or nano silicone, the Rolex of silicones.
Yeah.
Get out there and buy
Just get anyone. We're not telling you to buy ours, even though we do recommend buying ours because it's the best. But if you're not using silicone, you're being really, really silly. So just go and buy the shit one to start with. You'll notice a difference, and then
just don't buy advanced.
You know what? Sod it. I'll go and buy NPK's badass
one. Do not buy rhino skin from Advanced Nutrients, because you may as well just feed your plants water.
Yeah, it's a waste of money.
Yeah, just don't buy that one. Buy anyone else. I think we're outside. It's nice and hot.
Yeah, Titch has come back to charge up his R1. He's got the brand new R1 here, and the battery's died. So he's come back to put it on a trickle charge here. We're enjoying the sun. It's not really a very long podcast today. No.
Because you should be out there.
Yeah.
Once you've seen to your plants, you should also be out there enjoying the sun.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be listening
especially
to
if you're in the UK, because we don't often get this type of weather.
No. Pause the pod. Actually, don't pause the podcast, because we're nearly done now. But get outside and go and enjoy the sun. Remember, look after your plants first. Oh, yeah. Barry's saying.
Yeah. We've just had a little a poke in the ribs, and it's something that we nearly forgot.
Yeah, we did. The reason being because we're 2 weeks. We're a little bit from live to when the podcast goes out. We're about a week, 2 weeks ahead. So this might seem a little bit mad that we're saying this if you listen on podcast 2 weeks later, but we need to give our thoughts and condolences to the people of Manchester that have lost a friend or a daughter or a brother in the sickening, malicious, fucking arsehole attack.
If people don't, for all of our listeners across the world, because how many countries?
Oh, I haven't counted. I fed up counting. Over 100.
Over 100 countries. So basically, in Manchester, a place in the UK, there is a concert arena,
Yeah.
and it's called the MEN. It's about
Manchester Evening News Arena.
yeah, the Manchester Evening News Arena. What day was it?
It was on
Last week, wasn't it?
it was on Monday, wasn't it?
Monday. There was the Ariana
Grande.
Grande concert.
Yeah.
but-
Which has a following of mostly women and young girls.
Yeah, so an artist that performs in thousands and thousands of women and young girls, and somebody, a terrorist, decided they were going to strap a IED explosive to their back and go to the main foyer when all of these young children and mothers and parents and aunties and fathers and granddads and grandparents and all of these people, when they finished the concert, was it?
Yeah, just as they were leaving.
Just as they were leaving the concert, decided to set off this explosion and kill 22 people, was it?
Yes.
Killed 22 people and injured
And many
people. And to be honest with you, it's just a cowardly thing. So it's something that's really shocked the nation over the past week or so. And you know what I really love though, and I've got to mention it, is people's kindness. I swear to God, like, I do things with various artists. I've even got A-Star here, A-Star standing next to me here right now, and he put up a poster, and a lot of people, and I seen like a thing from like Captain Conan on Instagram it was, and what it said was they put up a post, and it proper disturbed me, and it got to me as well, because there's loads of children sitting there lost in I think they were kept in some sort of centre.
Premier Inn.
Yeah, the Premier Inn or something. There was loads of parents stuck there without the children, or just a mass confusion. And Captain Conan actually put a post on Instagram saying, if any of these families need a hotel, or they need a taxi, or they need anything, to contact them immediately and they'll pay for it. And I know Ariana Grande, she's paying for everybody's funerals and stuff like that. The amount of posts that I've seen with people offering services and help and stuff like that, just everybody just all banding together. I take me hat off to the lawyers, and it's a big message to all of these terrorists and that think that they're going to destroy that. You're mad, aren't you? They had a vigil, I think it was the next night, where the whole community come together. Do you know what I mean? So a message to any terrorist who's watching: you're fucking weak, you're scumbags, and you're pussies, and you'll never break the UK heart and mind, ever. You won't even break the world's heart and mind. So my heart goes out to all of the families and everybody who was affected by that, and I just thought we'd mention that.
Yeah, man. And you've said it all there, bro. You'll never fucking break the British people's spirit. We'll always be ready to fucking fight hard and strong than anyone else. And I'd also like to say that fucking there's a friendly rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester. That goes out the window. We all come together like brothers and sisters to fight something like this. So
big shout out to all of Manchester, everybody in Manchester. Big shout out, big love to all these. And no matter what, you to get through all of this shit, we're bigger than all of it.
and I think we'll end on
And I think I'll end on that. Any questions or anything?
been a mad one. It's the
It's
last.
been a bad one.
If
We
you've
had
got any questions, keep on it. If you've got on this video, if you've got any questions about the APC, pest and disease, or anything like that, get them into us. And the final thing to say is just go in, if it's still sunny while you listen on podcast, 2 weeks' time is a bit of a stretch for the UK. Go and enjoy it. Go and enjoy the day. Spend time with your friends and family, and then just live a good one.
make sure if you're going to water the outside garden, you do it once